had this thought yesterday, but I don't think I said it. But this road trip, I could even tell yesterday, and it's definitely even truer today, and I'm sure it'll be even more true tomorrow and the next day. But this road trip is so interesting because it feels parallel in a lot of ways to like a psychedelic drug trip, just in the way that it's very clearly divided up into different parts, and in the moment those divisions are seamless. They're not on purpose, you know. It's not as clear cut as when you turn a page in a book. I guess it's more like a movie in that sense. They're seamless. But when you look back on it in hindsight, you can see these different divisions very clearly. Your different emotions at different times during the trip, especially on a drive with as different terrain and weather as this one has been so far. Even just today, that's a trip within a trip. And I would like to remind myself that the next time I take psychedelics, because I do want to try that out again. I don't know when, but it still might be years from now. I need to feel extra comfortable, because the times I've done it when I'm more unsure, even when I thought I was sure but I wasn't, it hasn't been a very fun time, and I think it takes too much energy out of me. But it's a very interesting parallel that I've just been feeling here and there, but then also very recently, which is why I started voice recording again. I'm very close to Billings. I think I'm like an hour away, maybe a little under an hour. And the day has just turned absolutely beautiful. I'm going further west into Montana, and it's very hilly. And there's snow everywhere on the hills, very thick snow. Christmas trees everywhere. Lots of rocks that would be great to stand on. Reminds me of the rocks in Lion King that jut out from the hill. Not like as grandiose as that one, but beautiful terrain. I've been seeing Lewis and Clark trail signs. This place is just fucking gorgeous. The clouds are very billowy right now. I missed seeing shadows today. It's been so cloudy that I haven't had a chance to see any shadows until now, or very recently. This is also what I expected in terms of the amount of people on the road with me. It's not very many. Not at all. Mostly truckers. I wonder how often they feel lonely. I mean, I've heard it's a very lonely profession. When you're doing this all the time, I mean, like, you don't even see that many people, you don't even see that many cars, is what I mean. So not only do you, like, I feel like it's a very different thing when you feel alone in a city, but you can still see thousands of people if you want to. This, your job is just secluded and you're still on the move. I feel like it'd be impossible not to feel lonely. was gonna say more, but I think I'm gonna leave it for now. I'm gonna enjoy my drive, listen to some Sweet Trip. I think one of the best things about me is that I am very relatable. I feel like a lot of the things that I've gone through, I kind of have gone through them on purpose in order to be relatable. Because for a long time, I just kind of didn't do much. But then I decided, maybe subconsciously, like, no, I want to relate to people. And I think combined with who I am as a person, very calm and understanding, and I never overstep. And if I can't relate to you, then I'm the first to tell you that. But I can still offer my thoughts. And I think people see that. And if they don't see it, they feel it more than anything right away. I think that's why pretty much literally everybody likes me. But I want to be that way. I feel like I have the ability to kind of tap in to deeper meanings, even in the most mundane, but not in a pretentious way. Just like, and when I say ability, of course, everyone has the ability. I do believe that, but I think I just feel such an urge to do so that I bring it up very often when maybe other people wouldn't. And I know people appreciate that. I just feel so much, pretty much all the time. And I have such a deep appreciation for things. Almost anything makes me feel appreciation in some way or another. Literally almost anything. Appreciation, even if it's not like a good appreciation per se, just an appreciation for being human and what we can, how we function, but how we're so, I was just thinking about this in the shower, how absolutely there's science and evidence and blah, blah, blah to convince people that we are, as humans, kind of predictable. We are just animals after all. I mean, like, we have cognitive functions that are triggered by certain things, and because we've gotten so smart and have been able to self-reflect so much on our own knowledge, we can kind of, predict when we're gonna like miss the double word in the sentence or like something like that. But at the same time, it's so ridiculous. And I don't think any like true scientist would ever, well, maybe some would, but I don't know. What I'm trying to say is I think most scientists understand that we're still pretty miraculous and very abstract and very unpredictable. And we're the most intelligent species that we know. And we have the ability to reflect and appreciate and understand and move forward after weighing all of our options. And all of these things can contribute to our downfall too. I feel like so many of those things that I just listed contribute to negative mental health, especially in the way that we're living right now. That's the most unfortunate part, is that we just have there's just no chance to flourish, really, universally. Some people are just, they happen to be born into an opportunity where they can flourish. But that's not the case for most people. The vast majority of people either suffer or are just stuck. They're just kind of stuck, trying to make ends meet. And they don't always meet.
it's been really nice to self-reflect on this trip a lot. And obviously, the reason why I went on this trip by myself, the reason I've been so excited to get away from everyone, not that I was even being bothered, but I just wanted to go somewhere very far away where I couldn't be bothered, where there wasn't an option to be bothered, where I don't have to come up with an excuse not to hang out with someone. But I mean, I'm honest too. I just tell them, no, I don't want to hang out. But obviously the reason for this trip is going to make me self-reflect on my own identity and my past and my future, while simultaneously just trying to be as present as possible. And amazingly, I think I've been doing that so much more than I ever could have anticipated. Like, I feel like I'm right in the middle of that Venn diagram. No matter how small it is, I'm right there.
So I'm on my way to AutoZone, literally just to use a screwdriver, because my turn signal's out, and I realized I don't have a screwdriver. But bro, I just saw the mountains, and I just fucking exclaimed, like, this is the first time I've seen, like, mountains like that this trip, but the first time in a long time regardless. It was shocking. I mean, I thought they were clouds at first. I was kind of confused. So beautiful. I'm so excited for today. It reminded me today, Melissa, when I told her about my trip, she told me with kind of like a smirk on her face, you're gonna like the third stop the best. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. That's fucking Yellowstone. So I'm very excited for today. I feel fantastic. I woke up really early. I didn't get too much sleep, but I don't know, I feel great. I'm really looking forward to today. It's going to be very centering, I think. That's what it feels like. What else was I going to say? So yesterday, I was driving for hours, because there's only one highway and we're all going the same direction, so it makes sense to see the same cars. But there was this one U-Haul it was like a big long U-Haul truck with a very cool vintage car attached to the back of it, like pulling it on a trailer. And I had noticed it because we stopped at a gas station together, and then I had seen it a couple other times. And then I realized that sorry, I'm just pulling into the AutoZone. I realized that when I was looking through my pictures when I got to my motel, that I was taking a video of, and we were probably like 20-minute difference, because this is when I was going through Theodore Roosevelt National Park, and I was up on this overhang where you couldn't even access 94 where we were driving. So we were like different for a while, but I'd seen him at this gas station hours ago. And then I was looking back through my video, like the briefest moment where you can see the highway, it's probably only a couple seconds, I captured this U-Haul with that car, and I was like, holy shit, dude. I didn't notice at the time, of course, because I wasn't paying attention to it, but it was just crazy that it came up and I captured it hours later. then this morning, you know, I'm very, very observant of the license plates around me. And I also just want to note, because I keep thinking about it, but I haven't noted it yet. A week ago, I was driving to Target in Roseville. In front of me on my left was a car that read 444. You know, the angel number, but any just 3 repeating is pretty sick. And then to my right, that pulled up right next to me, 555. And I was like, that's sick as fuck, I should note that. And then the light turns green and we go. This car passes me, you know, 15 seconds after I had taken note of the other numbers. 777. It was unbelievable. Like that, it sent shivers through my whole body, and my mouth was like my jaw dropped, but in a way where I was kind of like tense. Not even just like, holy shit, that's crazy, but like I was actually like tense. I was like, oh my god, that's insane. That's never happened to me before. But so this car yesterday was the same situation as the U-Haul one. I had seen the license plate. I think it was North Dakota, because it was this cool, we were driving alongside each other. It was this cool touring Honda Civic, I think. I mean, it looks cool, but I guess it's made for like cross country, you know, touring, like a touring bike is what I thought of. I took note of it just because I thought it was a cool car, and the license plate was 396 DLC. And I remember thinking, you know, just like a random thought, like DLC, that means something to me with video games, like, so I took note of that. And I just remember 396 for some reason. Then just this morning, not more than 10 minutes ago, I pulled out at a random stoplight in Billings. I didn't even know this person was staying in Billings. I had just driven with them on I-94 for a brief moment of time, you know, because it's like little packs of people that are all kind of going. It's kind of cute, not with this car in particular, but with a couple other cars. You know, sometimes I would pass them, and then like 45 minutes later they would pass me. I'm like, oh, that's that car. We kind of changed energies, you know. It's like I'm kind of going slower now, and then maybe they want to go faster. It's very interesting to kind of think about that, you know. You change your energy, you change your goal, your ambition, not even consciously maybe. But this wasn't even like near Billings per se. I don't remember where it was, but we were driving fast in the middle of nowhere, and I noticed the license plate, and it wasn't anything of it. I just remembered it. Just one of those thoughts that you like kind of put in your pocket. Not that it means anything, but at a random fucking stoplight this morning in Billings. Again, I didn't even know that they were staying there. I saw that same car. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, I'm really excited for today. It'll be a really good day. I kind of already touched on this before, but I'm just thinking about right now how I think I just want to talk to myself more. Like, obviously this is like the extreme, you know, talking to myself. Like, at the end of this trip is going to be for hours on end, but I guess there is a difference though. Like, when I'm talking now and I'm recording myself, I kind of have my mindset is that other people will hear this. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't decided what I want to do with this yet. I think when I get home, I'm going to just listen to them all. Maybe jot down the ideas that I like the most, and maybe work those out. But, so there is a difference between just like talking to myself. Like, I just talk to myself right now because I've been really focused, or not really focused, but it keeps coming in my mind that I want to see my odometer when it's 22,222. And I've been thinking about that this whole trip, and I've been thinking about that even before I went on this trip. Unfortunately, I missed it. Like right now it's 22,232. And then I saw it when it was 22,229. So I saw both cases where it was 4 out of the 5 were 2s. I'll take that. But I kind of exclaimed, you know, like, oh, fuck, no, to myself. And that's a different sort of talking to myself. But that's the kind of talking to myself I think that I want to do more of. Like Lucas talks to himself all the fucking time. He has as long as I've known him. To the point where, like, people think he's weird because of it. I mean, I love that dude to death. He's weird for a lot of reasons, in the best way. But that's one of those ones where people are like, oh, no, that's just Lucas talking to himself again. But I like that shit. I respect it so much. Like, who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit if they hear you talking to yourself, too? It doesn't fucking matter. For me, I'm looking at talking to myself in this way and in that way. So even though the mindset changes for either of those, it's just like unplugging the spigot. Like, let your thoughts flow freely. I can't be caught in that mindset of inaction, of letting even the most random thoughts, seemingly random, well, random but seemingly insignificant, I can't let those thoughts be caught up in my head, because then I reach a point where it's like I can't fit any more thoughts into my head because I haven't got rid of the ones that I need to get rid of, that have been there for fucking years sometimes. So I just need to flow with it. There are a lot of words that are new in my vocabulary that I've already been using a lot with these voice recordings, but also just in my thoughts. Flow is one of them. I think Melissa was the one that told me that, just flow. And it's beautiful. It reminds me so much of just like energy, you know? These birds are eating this roadkill. I've been seeing a lot of roadkill. Poor guy. A lot of, I don't know what the fuck that was, to be honest. It looked like a brown raccoon. I don't know what that would be. Seen a couple porcupines, which is very interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen porcupine roadkill before. If I have, I don't remember. It was kind of insignificant at the time. Speaking of animals, though, another thought that I wanted to talk about was I was just driving past some cattle maybe like 15-20 minutes ago, and they were all just chilling, like all just laying down resting. And it was so funny to me because, like, animals are just so cute. They're just so funny and cute. Like, they all just kind of do the same thing. Like, even my cats, you know, like, if one's playful, the other will be playful. And if one is resting, the other will be resting. It's like, it's adorable that they just kind of, they pick up on each other's energies and just kind of like, yeah, I guess we're doing this now. And humans are not much different. We like to think we are, but like, herd mentality is just an animalistic thing. People say that like it's a fucking bad thing, you know? Like, everyone's just sheep. And of course it's like not good to be like, to just submit to the powers that be and take everything in reality as the way that it is without, you know, criticizing or just any sort of critical thought against it or with it. Of course that's not good. So the way that people say sheep nowadays, like, there is a lot of truth to that that's not a good thing. But oh my god, it just reminds me so much of the hyper individualization of like America. It's fucking toxic as fuck. Like, everyone is unique in their own way, like a beautiful snowflake. And of course I don't mean snowflake in the liberal tears sort of way. I mean, everyone is unique. No one is going to be the same, of course. Everyone's lived experiences are going to be, you know, very similar but very different at the same time. And I think there's so much truth in that, of course. But at the same time, people who think that they can fucking live on their own, like completely on their own, or people who think that they are one of a kind in every single way is just delusional. And it's like really fucking toxic to the rest of the community, but world at large especially. There's so much difference, so many differences between America and other countries and their cultures, but like one of the biggest ones I've just been so focused on lately is that hyper individualization. It's just awful. It's the raise yourself up by your bootstraps, you know, like no one's got your back except you, blah blah blah. Like, you gotta rely on other people at some point, and even if you think that you aren't, you are 100% in the ways that either you won't admit or you just overlook. You're dependent on so many other people all the time, every single day. So many things that you do are dependent on other people that either performed something or did something that you're benefiting from right now, or are directly helping you in the moment. It's ridiculous to think otherwise. Like, you know, like fucking big, strong American boys that literally never grow up to be men. They still always have that boy mindset. Very immature. Mature in some ways, sure, granted. Yeah, I'm not saying they're immature in every way. But you're not a fucking man just because you think that you do these things on your own and you never smile and you fucking, I don't know, all these different things. The people like that just need to be humbled. Truly. That's another word I've been thinking about a lot, is just humble. Or being humbled. Feeling humbled personally, but also people being humbled. That would go such a long way, bro. If everyone could just like actually sit down with an open mind and not be so stubborn. So many people are so stubborn. I've never been stubborn in my whole life. And that's probably because of how I was raised. My mom was never stubborn. I don't remember my dad being stubborn either. But I only bring up my mom because my mom was like anti-stubborn. Not like in those words. She never like said those words. It wasn't like a lesson she taught us. But just like the way she practiced her conversation in like everyday life was so anti-stubborn. It was so like open to discussion, like even with us as children. And I think that shapes a lot of who I am and how I interact with people too. I think being stubborn is one of the worst things in the world. But it's so common. It's like I don't blame people for being stubborn. Like, and of course, like your experiences shape who you are. A lot of the times you need to be stubborn. I'm certain, and I feel fortunate that I haven't been in many situations where I need to be stubborn. But as a character trait that is ingrained in you, I don't think it's good. And I don't mean this in any sort of high and mighty way. I'm just talking out loud. Because I'm sure the people who are stubborn would also so many people who are stubborn that I know, they just like, you know, are aware and they say, yeah, I'm just really stubborn. And I'm sure that I don't know whether or not they want to be. I would assume that most know that it's not necessarily like a good thing. I don't know, just a tangent, I guess. But in the way that I was talking about it in that specific instance for, you know, like American men especially. American men are the biggest problems in the world. American white men specifically. But when I say American men, I mean I think everyone thinks of white men. But it's good to make the distinction, because that shouldn't be. For the people who are American men that are not white, they don't deserve to be grouped in with that, but they still, if they claim, then they should. If they claim, you know, being American, then they deserve that, of course. it's crazy on this drive too. Like, I'm kind of like circling this mountain, and the last hour or so I've just been getting closer and closer. There are lots of turns out here, but it's so beautiful. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And I woke up today, I guess as soon as I started driving, I realized, like, damn, yesterday was like shitty the whole day. It was cold and windy and rainy and snowy, like literally the whole drive, like all 5.5 hours. In Bismarck and Billings, it was pretty similar, with some snow in between. And there's a lot of snow here. There's a lot of cars still with snow on them from the snowfall yesterday that I've been seeing. The weather's not warm enough anywhere for the snow to melt off of the roofs of the homes or cars or trains anywhere. And it's a little cloudy right now, but you can see the piercing blue skies, which is beautiful. So the sun is out. There's no precipitation. There might be some in Yellowstone. I mean, I gotta know there might be, because we'll be up a lot higher. And it even says, the weather is just so unpredictable. But I am so fucking excited. I'm so excited to drive through Lamar Valley, and then go to Artist Point, and then go to my campground, set up my tent and shit, and then just kind of see what's up, see what I want to do from there. I've been feeling very capable this trip. Like today I had to replace my turn signal, and that was just fine. I did it just fine. I got hot water from a gas station to make my tea and make my oatmeal. Got some free coffee from the Motel 6 lobby. And it's stuff like that too, where it's like, I love relying on other people. And it's not a relying to the point where it's like, I need to, if this doesn't happen, like I'm gonna fucking die or change my mood. It's just like, I guess the way to put it instead of reliance is to remember that there are always resources available to you. And so often all you have to do is just fucking ask. And I said this years ago, and I think about this all the time too, is like, don't swallow your pride, just fucking get rid of it. If you swallow your pride, then shit it out. Don't barf it back up later. You know what I mean? Be proud of the good things that you've done. Like, I've been so proud of myself this trip. That's part of feeling capable. I feel so proud. But proud and pride and the way that we talk about them are very different things. So when we talk about our personal pride, in the sense, swallow your pride, that kind of pride, shit it out. Get rid of it. It does no good. It's caused so many problems throughout history. I feel like the majority of problems are probably because of pride. In some way, pride is wrapped up in it. But yeah, I've been feeling very capable. I mean, I'm in fucking Montana. I don't know fucking anyone in like states away. You know what I mean? Like the people I know that are closest to me right now, probably Ty in Eugene, Oregon, and then Tess and Travis in Seattle. I admit Nikita might be in Seattle too, it doesn't matter. But like, damn bro, I'm just in a fucking state by myself. I've been feeling so nice to people just because I know like I'll never see them again. And that's kind of a beautiful thing too. Like, I just want to give them my kindness while I'm there. And I want to be present, and I have been. That's another thing to feel proud of. But yeah, I'm capable as shit. I can do whatever the fuck I want, and it's always going to be fine, no matter where I go. And that's true for everyone, but especially because of who I am and how I interact with people and the good-natured energy I bring to these conversations and relationships that I have with people, no matter how brief, I know they feel that immediately. When I walked into the AutoZone this morning, dude just took a huge bite of some granola bar or something, and his mouth was full. I just gave him a smile and said, take your time. And I stood there for 20 seconds while he swallowed, and he probably appreciated that. We had a really good interaction when I came in, I went into the AutoZone to ask for a Phillips screwdriver, because I asked the Motel 6 lady, or person I should say, and they didn't have one, so I went to AutoZone to ask them, and of course they have one because it's AutoZone. And I just had entering Wyoming right now. It's just stuff like that, like good energy. I know I bring that, and I'm so proud that I do. I don't feel pride about it. My nose isn't held high. I just feel proud because I know what I bring to the table, and I'm confident, and I'm capable. And a lot of I don't want to say issues I've had lately, but a lot of the bumps in the road that I've had lately, just from living my life, haven't been because I need to pep talk myself or give myself validation, because I've always felt that. But this kind of stuff does help too, to talk about it in a way where it's just the baseline. It's I know that shit. I know that shit by heart. I know who I am. I know I'm good at this. There are other things I know I need to work on. There are other things I want to work on, unrelated to me as a person, but my skills and practices. When I get home, I want to incorporate them into my life and become better at them. I feel like I am actually ready and willing to start doing a few specific things just repeatedly, and I know I'll get good at them just from doing them repeatedly, daily or multiple times a week. I was thinking about that today when I was stretching, because I've been stretching before meditating these last few days, and that's something I had done in the past for maybe a couple months in a row, but then I stopped. But my dad is flexible as fuck, and I've always been kind of jealous. And in the past, I've always just, stretching was one of those things where it's I wish I was flexible, but I'm never gonna, I don't have the fucking willpower to make myself flexible. Just with everything else, bro. Photography was the last thing that I actually put my mind to, and look how much I learned. Photography it's not incredibly complicated, but it can be. And even the very fundamentals of photography are confusing at first. It takes a while to learn. But I did that shit, and I felt so proud and happy that I did. Now I have these other things on my plate where I feel you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready to take the time and put in the effort to do them. And there needs to be a distinction too between I'm not trying to say I'm on my fucking grind now. The grind set, that is not good. Too capitalistic. And I'm not even just throwing that word around. It really is. It really is. It's not good in any way. It's unhealthy. It's really unhealthy. And I think it eats away at your happiness more than people probably realize. Just because of the energy it takes to put into it, bro. Not everything is a competition. It doesn't have to be. I think the only competition should be fun competition. You know what I mean? Racing or sports or fucking whatever. This area is just absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna stop recording. I think I said what I needed to for now. I'm gonna take a video. So I'm in Yellowstone right now, and it's just been this whole fucking day has been fucking unbelievable. I can't even comprehend the amount of beauty that I've seen. It's I mean, I thought this whole trip was so pretty so far, but I had no idea. Like, truly, I had no idea. In my adult memory, I can't think of anything that would have prepared me for how like fucking big everything is. How big, how pretty, how beautiful, how natural. Like, you know, when you're when you play like new gen video games and you're so impressed with all the details. It's funny to say it like that, but it's so true, because that's how I feel right now. Like, there's just, obviously it's real life, so everything's gonna be detailed. Like, that's not the point. But I'm just so impressed just by nature. And it's just been here, you know, that's the craziest thing. There's a lineup of like, probably like, I was the fourth in line, so I'd had a pretty good view. But there was probably like 20 cars behind me, because we had to wait for like 20 minutes while this huge pack of bison crossed the road and then walked down the road and then crossed the road again, like, you know, just a little ways down. But the whole thing probably took like, I don't know, 20 some minutes. And like I said, fortunately I was at the very front. I was confused why people were stopped, and I was like, oh my god, those are fucking bison. It was crazy. So I got some good views of that. It was a really cool experience. One that I know that all of us will never see each other again, but we're tied by that experience, that's for sure. Yeah, it's crazy. I started this voice recording because I wanted to say that I think I'm gonna start, I really have liked the idea of starting things that I know are gonna take me a long time, but just doing them, just chipping away at them. I think that's been my biggest obstacle, like for real. If not my biggest, absolutely one of my biggest obstacles in my, it's definitely the biggest in my, if we're talking about my lack of motivation that I've been so concerned about for years, that's absolutely my biggest. I just don't have the patience, and like, I just don't realize how things take time. Or I do, but then I just give up and I get depressed. The light is so pretty on these rocks, these bluffs that are like, you know, 1,000 feet above me. And I'm already like 7,000 feet up in the air. But the light hitting them is just so beautiful. It's 4:40. I got one more like information center stop. I'm gonna see if they have like coffee or something. Then I'm gonna go to Artist Point and then set up my tent, because I should do that as soon as possible. I don't want it to be dark and cold. I'll probably go to bed when it's dark out though. I might read for a little bit, I'll probably write for a little bit. I haven't had internet all day. It's been very nice, very relaxing to just be alone, you know? Like completely alone except the people around you. And you know that they're all alone too. Well, they have their families, but you know, alone from the outside world. I've seen a few other solo people, which is cool. We kind of know what each other are feeling, I bet. But yeah, I want to learn the piano, and I want to learn guitar, and I want to learn Spanish, and I gotta stop thinking like I don't have time to do those things. Because if I live a long life, I've only lived a quarter. And if I live an average life, I've only lived a third. That's a long fucking time. That is so fucking long. I can't even comprehend it. And I've always been pretty good about this, but I gotta remind myself every once in a while that 25 may seem old in like the age of the internet, or like, I mean, even just like celebrities or any sort of celebrity. 25 seems kind of old to start something. I'm not trying to group me together with celebrities. I'm just saying, like, I feel like it's easy to think that you're old when in reality, like, you're barely an adult. You're still barely a fucking adult. I have so much time to start these things that I want to start. Nothing but time. And in my daily life that I live, I have so much time. So much of my time is just spent, you know, consuming and kind of just not doing much. Granted, I will say it's not a depressing way. The amount of intake I've had over the years has shaped my relatability and my, like, I don't know, just being able to, like, stay connected and just be aware of things, know certain things, whether they're serious or just as light as, like, oh, you know that reference too, funny. I'm excited to get home and, like, somewhere in between hit the ground running and hit the ground jogging. It's gonna be motivated, but it's not gonna be like a sprint. I guess I should say in between sprinting and jogging, but that's just fucking running. Oh well. Hit the ground running. The saying was already correct. I don't know if I'll ever be able to comprehend how beautiful this trip was, or this day in particular. I've taken so many photos and videos, but right now I'm just kind of, oh my fucking god. We're over, I think, the Yellowstone River right now, over this huge fucking high bridge. I can't even, like, this scale is the thing that fucks me up. Like I was saying, how fucking big everything is, like, it's insane. It reminds me of when we, in Hawaii, okay, yeah, that was probably the last time I felt something close to this, but this is just like, it's everywhere. Like in Hawaii, we climbed that mountain, and it was like a one and done thing. This is like, there are those mountains everywhere. It's unbelievable. I feel like today is like the day that I've just kind of been in a trance the whole time, in the best way. Every other day has had so many like normal everyday activities in it, and that's just how it was gonna go. I mean, I was staying in cities. Tonight I'm in Yellowstone, so it makes a lot of sense. Cook City, right before the northeast entrance of Yellowstone, is one of the cutest little places I've ever been. I got in, I got gas. For some reason, I was worried about gas for so long, but like, I only went through just over half a tank. But I was just, you know, I'm just thinking ahead, because there's not much gas around here. It's few and far between. But I got gassed and like a light snow started. I went to the bathroom, kept snowing, and I made myself a sandwich in the back of the car. I got out and there was like a little blizzard. I ate in the car. Blizzard lasted maybe 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, and then I was on my way. It was clear again. It was sunny and clear. I see some reindeer. I drove by some reindeer, and I see some reindeer here now too. But it's just beautiful here. I'm at Mammoth Hot Springs now. I'm gonna go check stuff out and be on my way. But I wanted to say I'm excited to start doing things that take time. That's been an obstacle for me, and I've never felt motivation to do that. But if I want to achieve what I want to achieve, then that's what it takes. And I'm very excited to do so. Some mornings, I just enter the morning so confused, and it takes me a little while to kind of get my footing in reality again. Especially lately, I've just been having the weirdest dreams. Like, even if they're not that weird per se, they're just so vivid and like bizarre. Like the one I had last night was just so crazy. Floating through
floating through outer space, just completely above the world. It looked exactly like how I have seen it, you know, on YouTube or whatever, or in movies, but it was slightly more like cartoonish. But I was up there, and it was scary at first, but I kind of calmed myself down in my dream. And I could move my directions just by blowing, like, probably not realistic, but there's some logic in that. I kept finding these different items to hold on to. We were kind of like in this little cloud of, you know, me and the items made up the cloud, is what I'm saying. I was holding on to this satellite, which was what I had been sent up there for. And that was my, you know, one chance to get back. So I was holding on to it for dear life. I was trying to figure out how the best way to hold on to it would be. But then I had to worry about like this jetpack and then like my spacesuit. You know, it's a dream, so it doesn't all make sense. But eventually I came across this floating little house, and it wasn't really a house as much as it was like a cube with like, think of like a loft, I guess, with like a ladder that goes up to a bed. And it looked kind of, it was like modern, like geometric, like IKEA shit. It just felt like 2001. Like the end of 2001. It was a very weird dream. And I had another where I was in this city. I don't remember this one as well, but it was like this city, kind of like a hotel. There's this worker there that I kind of had beef with, but I wasn't trying to be mean. He was trying to get some like kid without a home in trouble, and I distracted him, and the kid ran away, and he got all pissed. And there's this bathroom that he was supposed to clean, but people had been in there and like pissed everywhere, just put like shampoo on the mirrors and stuff. It was so weird. I don't remember the purpose of that one, but I remember that. Very interesting morning. I wrote once that morning had arrived, and then I corrected it to rather I have entered the morning, and that's exactly what it feels like. I feel that way a lot. And sometimes it takes me longer to fully arrive in the morning than others. It's an interesting thing waking up outside in the cold. One of the very few times in my life that this will probably happen. Waking up and realizing that you still have all your clothes on, all your jacket on, hat, gloves, double socks. Sleeping bag kept me warm though. And my blankets, I ended up using my blankets as pillows because I forgot a pillow. But we adapt, we roll with the punches. Forgot my camping chair, so sat on my skateboard yesterday by the fire. And it's no big deal. None of it is a big deal at all. You know, you just roll with it because that's all you can do. I get to Boise today and I'm excited. It's kind of funny that I spent so much of my time, or so much of my time thinking about what I want in the future, what I want to manifest,
even before I was even explicitly thinking about it as manifesting, I guess daydreaming is a good word. Things that I would daydream about were me being interviewed, like for a magazine or on a talk show or something. And then along with that, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'll just talk about the interview for a sec. I think so much about, I remember what I was gonna say, but I'll finish this thought. I just think so much about how I would want to talk kind of like this during an interview. I feel like I learned so much about people I admire and respect through their interviews. And there's so much good content that comes from that. Some people work a lot better when they give themselves time to flesh out ideas and really craft something before presenting it to the world. And some people are also good or better at just speaking off the top. And I feel like that's kind of like me. I feel like I'm a great example of that. I feel like so many of my ideas are just like brilliant, just like gold. Like so many of my thoughts, I want to just like, if I remember that I thought something once, I'm like, damn, I could work with that for fucking ever and make something great or create something great to express to the world, to be appreciated and understood. I just feel like I have so many of those just like fucking firing all the time. And I love when other people are like that too. Cause it's just like, it's just brilliant. And I think that's so special. But I think about interviews a lot. And then I also think about like the way you dissect things in English class. Usually with like dead poets and shit. You go through their work. Or even like musical artists who are deceased or just, don't have there's another bison. Either deceased or don't have much released music, or I should say just a bunch of unreleased music. Damn, I'm right next to this bison. He is fucking big. Fucking huge. Goddamn. But the people who go in and like really, really do a deep dig on like anything they can come up with an artist, like buried treasure shit. I think it'd be cool if I could be one of those people that people dissect with all the things that I've made or whatever. And I think that's been the biggest thing that I've been manifesting lately. At least within the past like couple years. And again, I wasn't even explicitly thinking about it as manifesting, but I think about it like it's gonna happen, and I have for a while. Which I think is the best way to think about it. How else are you gonna think about it? Another great thought I just had was I want to stop thinking about things like they're missed opportunities and more of just they didn't happen and that's that. Because in the reality that you live in, when you quote unquote miss an opportunity, that's just the reality. It didn't happen. That's all that it is. Missing an opportunity gives you a chance to like feel remorse or regret, and that's understandable and it's unavoidable to a degree. It's just human nature. But I want to like train myself to think about these things more like, maybe give it like a bummer and then move on. Like I just think on this drive through Yellowstone, there have been so many times, so many videos and photos that I've taken just on the drive, and so many times, and just like everything else in life, this happens all the time.
For me, with photos and videos specifically too. But you see a shot with your eyes, you're like, damn, I wish I could have captured that. But you're going fucking 50 through Yellowstone, and it's not safe or even plausible to capture it. And like that's a beautiful thing in itself, you know, like taking those moments that you can't capture on your phone. And I'm definitely absolutely not one of those people to say like, oh, it's better to see it with your eyes than to capture it with a phone. Oh, why are you living through your phone? It's like, shut up, bro, you sound dumb. Why wouldn't you want to capture that to look back on it later? You can do both. Click the shutter and then put your phone away and view it with your eyes. It's really not that complicated. Like, it's 2021. I wonder how many people like that I'm kind of around here in Yellowstone. Probably a lot. Although I would guess most of them are just very non-annoying people. They're probably very, you know, very in tune with the world around them. That's something to appreciate. But I was thinking about that with the spark of this thought was from the photos and videos that I've quote unquote missed, you know, where it would have been a good shot. But I have taken just like fucking probably like 200 photos and videos since I came into Yellowstone. Maybe more. I have no idea. Like, I really don't have any idea. I haven't been on my phone at all, which is great, because I can't. Oh, look at that. I have service now. That's so funny. But the thought sparked from that, and then I wanted to relate it to, you know, me and Bella. I spent a good chunk of time feeling regret for not expressing my feelings beforehand. And I never feel regret like that. It was weird. I've often said I have no regrets. And that's very true. And I think the reality of that saying is, for me, is that I feel regret sometimes for, you know, an elongated period of time. That emotion is not foreign to me. Like, I understand the emotion. But I don't like pocket things as regret. I don't put them in my regret folder. I think I work through them by feeling the feeling of regret, and then it's just a thing that happened. So honestly, maybe I kind of have lived by this already. But I want to practice and learn to adapt into it more quickly. I think that's like, for me, I think that's what's going to make me a more evolved person in my own life, on my own path. When I miss an opportunity, quote unquote, remember it, appreciate it for even like the fleeting seconds that you're experiencing it. Take it in as much as you can. Maybe give a, oh fuck, you know? But then move on. It's something that didn't happen, and that's okay. So I'm stopped at this like huge fucking mountain, probably the most beautiful mountain I've seen so far. I just got into Grand Teton. And I'm in the middle of 2 other Minnesota cars. That's so fucking weird. I haven't seen another one in so long. But there's one in front of me and one behind me, which is really interesting. I guess we're attracted to the same thing. Anyway, I was also just thinking, well, first I was just thinking about how I love Alex G so much because Alex G
and Sun Kill Moon are two people who really just kind of do whatever the fuck they want in terms of like rhythm and rhyming, and it's all about the lyrics. Of course it's not all about the lyrics, but like they don't sacrifice any of their lyrics for anything. They make it work in a very effortless way, where if like, you know, like their rhythm is off from like one verse to the next or line to the next, or like, you know, something doesn't rhyme, like it doesn't fucking matter. They just put it in there, and they're so confident with it. They just put it in there because that's what needs to be said. And that's just, I appreciate that so much, because that's so much more similar to how I am. You know, some people will like make a fire beat and then kind of like hum along to find their flow, and it's got to fit with the flow and all that stuff. Like the lyrics come afterwards. But Alex G and Sun Kill Moon are just two people who like, or two artists. I just appreciate that so much. The older I get, the more concise I realize the more concise my view is on what I actually want to do. Like for so long I've wanted to do so many different things, and it's exciting to think about doing all these different things. I'm just narrowing down more what I realize I really value, and that really helps me figure out which way to move or how to move forward, which door to walk through. And that's just one. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Fucking gorgeous. I'm not gonna stop this time, but wow. This is for sure the prettiest mountain range that I've seen so far. I'll have to find out what it's called. But yeah, that's how I am. I can't sacrifice any of my lyrics or anything I write, because that's how I think and that's how I speak and that's who I am. I feel like if I sacrificed my lyrics for flow or whatever to make sure something rhymed, of course I can put effort into that, but it's like it's not going to be a make or break thing for me. I feel like it would sacrifice some of my integrity and the authenticity of the message. It wouldn't be what made me write it. You know what I mean? What made me write is whatever comes out. Those are my thoughts. And of course you can, you know, I was talking about earlier, crafting art and presenting it to people. I'm not saying I would only just, you know, like off the top of my head and that's it, that's whatever, no editing at all. Not like that, but you get what I'm saying. I'm listening to Care For Me by Saba right now, and it is genuinely one of my favorite albums of all time. It is so good. And I just finished Fighter, my favorite song, and after this I'm gonna play it again because it's just so fucking good. It makes me cry. It's so amazing. It's so human. And it just made me think of all these mantras that I've been thinking of so much lately. You know, like the desire to express and be understood. The scary vulnerability that you have to kind of give to someone in order to feel fulfilled in a relationship, or just even get that aspect of life. You gotta be vulnerable, but it's like, trust is such a tricky thing. I think I'm convinced most people have the best of intentions, but because we're all our own people and we live different lives and have different experiences, trust can be broken without even trying. But that's just part of life. It's the ups and downs. I can't remember if I said this on voice recording yet, but I also have just been thinking so much of Neon Genesis Evangelion, at the very end, there's this one line where Shinji says, it's something along the lines of like, it's okay that I'm here. And that fucking pierced me when I first heard it. And I think about it, I've thought about it every once in a while since I first heard it, but lately it's just been on my mind so much. You know, Shinji is just this kid who's scared of everything. I mean, fuck, I can relate. I'm not as like angry as Shinji, but I see a lot of Shinji in me, or me and Shinji. I don't know which way to put it, whatever. Empathize with him a lot. But that realization he had really fucking struck me. It reminded me of what Kit said a year or two ago when they were saying that they don't want to take up space. They're very aware of how much space they take up, and they don't want to. And I told them very recently, it's like, you deserve to. I brought up the fact that they used to tell me that. And it's like, you deserve to. And I know that they know that. And I know that their mindset has changed on it now. Everyone deserves to take up space. Oh my God, these mountains, bro. But that's how I feel when I hear that Shinji line. Is like, really, it's like that realization where it's like, I'm gonna stop. No, I'm not. That realization, like, it's okay that I'm here. I might not be perfect all the time, and I might not be doing anything significant, but I deserve to be here. Wherever you are in the world. If you are harmless, if you aren't harming others, you deserve to be there. Because you're a human life that is valued, that is valid, literally just for being alive. So many feelings of shame and guilt and just kind of apprehension, like, I feel like they're unnecessary. And they're fueled by the best intentions. You know, people don't want to, it's very selfless intentions. People don't want to be rude or annoying to other people, especially if the other people are who you expect to be there, wherever you are, in whatever situation you're at. But I feel like a lot of the time, those good intentions sacrifice your own well-being. And it's like what Melissa said, you know, work on centering yourself. Don't become an arrogant prick, but like, oh my God, these mountains. I just can't get over it. I probably never will. I feel like arrogant pricks are kind of always arrogant pricks, though. They always have been. But yeah, the direct sentence that I've been saying a lot lately is, I am here and I deserve to be here. And actually just today, I think I decided that after I meditate each morning, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna speak it out loud and speak it into existence. And wear it as my coat for the day. Every day. Just like a little piece of armor, you know? To remind myself that whatever I'm doing, it's okay. Not only is it okay, it's like, it's what I deserve. I deserve to live my happiest life. And I deserve to go out and get it. And I say this is true for everyone. Within reason, though, of course. You know, it's like every person is different. I know myself to where I'm never going to sacrifice another person's. I'm never going to step over anyone. I'm never even going to push anyone down to advance my life. I only do it when when it's harmless and, you know, yeah. But I deserve that. Everywhere I am, I deserve to be here. Fucking Grand Teton National Park alongside this the most beautiful mountain range I've ever seen. I deserve to be here. And I am here. And I made myself get here. Me and my sweet little car. And she has just been amazing. Running so smooth. The only thing I have to do, or had to do, was change my rear view mirror. Oh, there's a fuck ton of cars up here. I'm probably gonna stop and take a pic. I think that's what everyone's doing. Oh, this looks like a prime spot. Oh, maybe not. I don't know what's going on. You can't see shit, actually. There's too many trees. I don't know what people are looking at. There's park rangers out here, though. Maybe it's like an animal or something. Oh, bro, maybe it's a bear. People got the binos out, the cameras. I don't really care. I've seen a bear before. Saw one in the Boundary Waters. It is a, oh my fucking god, it is a good view. I'm gonna stop. I'm realizing very quickly that, like, I think I do like small towns. Well, maybe not small, but I would so be willing to live like somewhere over here in like a smaller town, or maybe like a vacation home or something. I don't know. Just very recent thoughts that I didn't expect to have. I'm just very, very, very extremely blown away with how beautiful it is over here. I think I prefer mountains to beaches, honestly, as that age-old question goes. But for real, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, I feel like I got slapped across the face with how beautiful they were. Like, sometimes I'd have tears in my eyes because it was so beautiful, and other times I'd be kind of almost like angry that I didn't know how beautiful it was. It is like truly breathtaking and truly jaw-dropping. Like, even just these back highways in Idaho that I'm on right now, just unfucking believable. I just want to drive across this whole state. When I was leaving Jackson, for some reason, I didn't expect it to be 5.5 hours. I thought it would only be like 3.5. So I saw that and I was like, I was a little annoyed, a little bummed. Because I mean, I'll have been in the car for like, I think in between 9 and 10 hours today then. But I'm posting up in Boise for a few days, so I won't have to drive for a while. But almost immediately, it was just kind of like well, first of all, I tried to practice, you know, okay, well, it is what it is. I'm gonna get there eventually. What's 2 more hours than you thought? It's not that big of a deal. In like a nice, caring way, not like not being harsh on myself, you know, just kind of like, oh, you know what, it's okay. I'm gonna choose to be okay with it, or try and be okay with it, and I was pretty quickly. But very, very soon into the drive, it became apparent that, well, like, yeah, of course, the whole drive's just gonna be beautiful. So I'm not gonna be bored, I'm not gonna be tired. The drives to North Dakota and Montana, those first 2, they were a little tiring. They were still very pretty, But I was just on 94 the whole time, and there wasn't much, you know. It's just the Great Plains. Still, I found a lot of beauty out there though too, but it was the only point I bring it up in contrast to this is that this is just so beautiful the whole way through. I have shit to look at all the time. And I'm still obviously driving safe, but like, I just feel so often like I'm not even looking at the road. Of course I am, but like, it's just, I'm looking at the road and then looking over and then, you know, checking in on the road and looking over, checking in on the road. It's very deliberate. It's just absolutely amazing. People drive fast out here too. Nothing but pickups. I'm in Idaho and I'm seeing nothing but pickups and they're all passing me. Mostly because like my sweet little car, it really can't just go up hills that well at all. So I'm really, really happy that she's been able to so far. And I don't like, that's the thing too. It's like I'm not trying to like overexert her. I'm sure that's probably hard on the car. So I've just been kind of easing into it. I already knew I couldn't accelerate fast, but I sure as shit can't accelerate fast up a hill, especially like a 10% incline. That's kind of crazy. But it is just so gorgeous over here. I seriously, if I ever have the means to, I'm gonna like build a home out here or something. It is just so vast. And there are not many people, and there is so much to see. I've never felt more like Mother Nature is just showing off than out here. And of course it's not a flex on her end, but I've just never been so impressed by just nature. I mean, even like Hawaii, you know, like I was so impressed in Hawaii. But this is just like, I think this is just more honestly like my cup of tea. Not to say I didn't like Hawaii. That was probably like the second biggest flex, Mother Nature flex I've ever seen. But this is just something else. They're obviously very different, but, and I'm just like, I'm surrounded by these like dirty looking mountains right now, and they're still beautiful, and then way off in the distance I just see like these ice blue mountains. I mean, I'm not even gonna guess at how far away they are, but they are very far away. But they're glistening white peaks in the sun. It's incredible out here. I'm excited to see Utah too. Mark was saying really good things. I think my plan, unless I'm like really tired after these 4 days in Boise, I think I'm gonna stay at least one full day in Salt Lake, maybe 2, depending on how long I want to be gone for. I love all the water out here too. So many rivers, so many lakes. And I already knew I was coming at the perfect time, but this like fall weather is just stunning. It fits the landscape very well. Very orange and kind of dirty. At least right here in Idaho. There weren't many leaf changes in Yellowstone, but that's because they're all like Christmas looking trees, you know. Have been wondering about those people, like the dudes with those like blue shades that like in the sun, you know, like baseball shades. They just glisten in the sun. They got their like camo hats on and boots with light blue jeans, and their pickup trucks that pass me. just wonder if they like take in how beautiful it is. And if they don't, that's fine. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm just curious, like, what crosses their mind when they're driving through places like this. Because it is just, and I know I'm awestruck because it's so abnormal to me. So of course, even if I did, you know, like, build a house out here, it would become more normal to me as well. I'm just curious what they think of the place where they live. I don't think I'm gonna do any exploring tonight in Boise because I'll get there at like 7:30, and I'm assuming I'll be very tired. I slept kind of a long time last night. I mean, like 9 hours, but it was outside in the cold, so I still feel kind of tired. I never realized that my body would start to ache just from driving, but I feel it in my thighs, and the weirdest one, I feel it in my right shoulder. My shoulder's kind of like clicking because of the way that I hold my steering wheel most of the time. So the last day, I've been trying to hold it in other ways and trying to stretch out my other arm, my right arm. I really enjoy not having service. It's kind of a chore to catch up on all my notifications sometimes. And I just have a lot of people that love me, and that's wonderful. It's never something to complain about. I think moving forward, I want to stop treating notifications as so much of a chore of things that have to get done, and be okay with leaving some notifications visible, because, you know, I always try and get rid of them as soon as I can, or I just put them off because I know that I want to deliberately do them. And I like that I deliberately deal with notifications. I mean, that's not something I want to change, but I don't need to take so long to reply to like a message or something if I'm not like in the, I don't know, it's just weird. Like, so many messages are not a big deal. I could just reply. The thing that's hardest for me, which I can change, is some people are just so, like, if I haven't replied in 5 hours and then I text them, they'll start replying back immediately, and it's like, man, I'm not trying to get in a conversation right now, and I'm kind of amazed that you even picked up your phone that quickly. I think I'll just stay on Do Not Disturb most of the time. I really like that.